right, here we go. Championship on the line in the Twitch chat. Mazda MX-5 Cup finale. Pat sitting back there in fourth in the yellow and blue Wrangler car, and Squid back in the back in the pack in the Liquid Death car. Your two championship contenders. Pat pretty much needs a win, and for Squid to have something bad happen as we are underway. 75 laps in our season-ending race at Charlotte. Pole sitter Caleb has already lost the lead for the moment, but still alongside heading into turn 3. Pretty much staying in formation here on this opening lap. There's a little bit of chaos towards the back of the pack, but up here in the front 10-12 spots, not much has changed as Caleb will lead lap 1. That's what I mean when I say it's going to fly by. It really will. Pat looking to make something happen early. Can't be too aggressive and make a massive mistake that's going to cost himself the title. He's pretty much got to win. I want to say he's down 28 points to Squid. Squid has now finished outside the top 10 in the past 5 races. Worst finish at 7th. And Pat, who was the pole sitter for the majority of the season, just kind of fell off. There was a little bit of a checkup mid-pack there as we are 3 wide for the lead. Caleb got shuffled into the middle, and Red Wings looks to take advantage, and he will. He's clear if he wants to slide up. Caleb got picked up by Haley Deegan in the middle line. Whoa, we got big trouble! Big trouble! Ricky Bobby and, more importantly, Pat are airborne. Oh my God, what happened there? So what in the fuck just happened on the backstretch at Charlotte? That came out of complete nowhere. Oh, Pat screwed himself. Pat tried to come down on Ricky Bobby, and there was a car there and set off a massive accident, and then Pat's car's pirouetting. Now, is Squid involved in that too? And is Pat, since he just kind of bounced around on the roll cage a little bit, is he going to be okay? So we're going to take a look at it from chase cam. You see what I saw from the blimp cam. Pat just comes down here, and Ricky Bobby's right there and sets off a nasty accident early on in this finale, and that is a championship contender involved and pirouetting. So we'll ride along with Squid and see what he saw. Gonna see his championship rival flip it in front of him, and oh, you have got to be kidding me! Squid was that close to being involved in that, and I think he came away with no damage at all. Watch from chase cam for Squid too, because look at how close this was to both of our championship contenders being involved in this. Ricky Bobby bouncing right in front of him into the catch fence, back across, and somehow Squid didn't hit him. Huh? What the fuck you mean racing? Wait, are we? Oh, we are green. That would explain things. We've been green this whole time. we weren't live. Well, anyway, there was a checkup right in front of the field, about 5 cars back, right as we got back to real time, as Kyle Busch is your leader. Haley Deegan, Lucas, Denny Hamlin, and Red Wings also up in that. And Squid, look at that, is up to 7th place already. But again, it's not over. Not over until we reach lap 75. Oh, we're looking squirrely heading into turn number 1. And this is odd because when we did this all the way back in, I don't even know, June, we waited almost the entire race until they decided to wreck. Here today, it's chaos. Everyone looks like they're ready to wreck at a moment's notice. And in that exhibition, the crash that happened towards the end of that race happened in the same exact way as it did here. Somebody coming down from the top lane when they weren't clear had a car underneath them. Well, we're all packed up. At least whoever's out here. We lost about a third of the field in that early accident. So I guess the backstretch is going to be the hot spot today. Back to Indy in the race that was about as chaotic as anything could have been. It was always in the turns. They never wrecked on the straightaway. And then here, they've already proved that they can. They proved it to us twice. Well, the bad news is that Pat is still not, for whatever reason, back to the pit lane. We did have a couple DNFs at, not quite random, but that surprised us when you wouldn't think that was possible, as there was a little bit of a check up there. Deegan is on the apron. Haley Deegan into Caleb. Yellow flag will not wave. That was just weirdness in the game. Hard contact between Deegan and Caleb, and Deegan is just dropping through the field. Now we've just got a spread out sort of race here. Big group at the front of the field, but nowhere else. I'm not really sure what that was. There was a little, a car to the pit lane. That's Jordan might have caught damage in that incident. We'll have to note lap 13. Go back at the end of this one and watch that. See if maybe that's the reason why, but at least able to limp it back around and get it to the pit lane. Man, I didn't think we were just going to hand this thing to Squid here today. But apparently that is the case. Evo, all by himself, the car you saw way in the background there, trying to catch the leaders as Squid is challenging for the lead on the high side. You don't need to rub it in. You know, I should have took Dale Jr. out of this race here today and put my car back in. Still a good chunk of cars sitting in the pit lane, I do believe, as we're still 3 wide for the lead on lap 15. And if we don't get a yellow or maybe pit cycles to kind of make some things interesting, this breakaway here could last a while. We got Josh Berry at the very tail end of this pack in the Mobile 1 car that's been one of our biggest menaces of the season. There is a secondary pack, and we're going to go back and take a look at that. Making up ground on Evo, you would presume, and maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to get him back up there, but you do have the 56 with some heavy damage on the front of that car in this group. So how fast are they really going to be? Squid is taking the lead, at least for the time being. 56 still feels fast enough. Yeah. We'll have to note that too. Lap 3, lap 13. Go back and watch some more replays and see if we can get a better clue as to what happened. Yeah, this pack is catching Evo, which is probably a good thing for Evo. If you want any hope of catching those leaders, you're going to need some help. And although this group here doesn't look like the ones that are going to provide a lot of it, they'll provide enough. Caleb's back out of the pit lane after the incident with Haley Deegan. Caleb does still hold position on Deegan, which is good to see. But man, there have been a lot of incidents throughout this season, but Caleb feels like he's in one every single race. After winning the opener at Daytona, it's been frequent, as Evo has rejoined this group right here. Let's take a quick check on who is still in the pit lane. That was Allmendinger coming out. So there's Deegan still sitting in there. Ricky Bobby, Kyle Larson, Smee. Ash is still here. Ash's car doesn't really look that bad. Chase, I'm not really seeing any sort of rear damage. And then, okay, yeah, we did catch some damage on the front. Probably had a car fly right into the front of the 46, but it could be worse. It could be the 33. And then Dale Jr., slight front damage. Kind of surprised to see him still here, unless... Okay, he's got rear damage too, so I guess that makes it a little better. But interesting, to say the least. Jordo's back out on track after the little bit impromptu pit stop after the Deegan-Caleb incident. Try and find our leaders yet again. Caleb has picked up Joey Logano. Here's this group riding along. And then our leaders are in turn 1. So overall, I think that pack back there is catching them a little bit. But I guess we'll see. I mean, you're not going to be able to make it to the end of this race on 1 pit stop, and I don't know if you're even going to be able to make it on 2. So, and we've seen the pit strategy all season long of just absolute chaos, right? When you think that your shit's good or your day's over, pit stops have been a real factor in this. So given that it appears Pat's not going to come back out, that is going to be a huge shakeup in the top. Pat might drop from second to Lord knows where. A little mid-race standings check since we didn't do this. Pat was at 196 points through 9 of our races this season. Squid with 224, by the way, so it was a long shot to begin with. But with a win, as Austin picked up some damage, good in his pursuit of DF. How is he driving like that? We've gotta take a look at what he's seeing here. Let's go cockpit. Yeah. What a blast for Austin. I mean, come on. Anyway, so that broke up this lead pack a little bit. They'll group back together eventually, but in terms of some people that could make a little bit of a push for second place, truthfully, I'm not sure there are any. Remember, a win is worth 40 points. The next closest to Pat is Caleb with 155. Very, very interesting. Somebody would have to... I mean, actually, I don't think it's possible. I think Pat might have second place locked up. Yeah. I think he may have just said, fuck pitting. He's currently sitting 16th. His race isn't all that bad. Evo's sitting 11th, though. In the race for DFL, Austin needs to drop some more spots, as Dale Jr. is now out of the pits. There's a surprise. We are a third of the way home in this championship finale, and it's already decided, unfortunately. Pat on lap 3 decided to turn himself off the front bumper of Ricky Bobby. And that's why we're in the situation we are right now. A good chunk of cars still in the pit lane after the lap 3 incident. Your champion sitting there already, riding around in third place, knowing that there's nothing he can do to hurt himself now. Squid's just trying to rub it in. I mean, I saw a good chunk of cars airborne in that incident. Pat and Ricky Bobby, and then I think there were 2 more in the back. Now, I don't remember one being a red car, though, so I'm not sure it was you, and the damage that your car had didn't really look like it was from a flip anyway. But judging how you're still in the pit lane, that very well could have been the case. But again, we'll take a look at it at the end of this one. I don't think anymore that secondary pack is catching these guys. They're about the same strength of pack, and this one back here, at least it did at one point have a damaged car in it. Now, not the case. 8 cars, they all look good to me. I can't believe this is still happening. So these are 2 damaged cars that are riding around together. And for one, I don't know how Austin is seeing. 2, I don't know how the 56 isn't faster than the 68. It's a wild one. And not in the ways we like. Caleb and Deegan still riding around in close proximity despite the early incident. And then Austin Cindric, who was a race winner this season. In fact, is Ash on her outlap finally? Yes! Yes, she is. Will chaos ensue? Now, there's nobody that did anything to you here, so please just, although I don't know, a caution could be what this race needs, to be honest. You and Jordo just get together, push to the front. Maybe you'll even push her to a win. Now back to the front of the field. I mean, it's the same cars that have been up here for a while. You're just not going to see much of a problem. You only have this little pack here. But then again, Indianapolis did happen. And there are a lot of slower cars running out there on the racetrack. So I guess we'll just ride around with the front pack here. You got Larson and the 33 of D. Kuzmic who we saw that car, the whole front was missing, have now picked off the leaders, both lanes. They're gonna let Squid through, it appears. Kyle Larson's just gonna get picked up like he's the leader. That might be even worse news for that secondary pack. Austin still sitting 16th, Evo 11th in the race for last place. Where's Moo Cow? Couple of cars ahead of you. And actually, right in front of the leaders. Looks like they're finally gonna lose the 33. Whoa, trouble! Oh, they all saved it somehow! Was that Lucas who was maybe sideways back there? There is the yellow as Lucas is bouncing around. What was that about? We're gonna ride along and see if you can't see what happened here. It's turn 4 again, where it looked like somebody might have made a move to try and pit. Yeah, that could have been the case, or Kyle Busch just came down and Lucas is up on his lid, digs into the ground, and watch out for this pack here. Everyone got through. So here this is again. Kyle Busch comes down, there's contact, and Lucas like slammed on the brakes, overcorrected, and then got hooked on to one of Denny Hamlin's tires and bounced around a good bit and almost right in the middle of the track for that other pack to collect. Well, wouldn't be a replay without an onboard. There you see Busch. I don't think he was never going to make the pit lane, so I feel like he was just trying to make a move down, and the same problem as what we had happen before. Somebody clearing themselves when they're not clear. And Kyle Busch's race gets to continue, and Lucas's does as well. He was able to drive away from this. But certainly going to have to come down the pit lane for repairs. About ready to go back to green. Into that Geico restart zone. Christopher Bale knows that well from his time in NASCAR. We are back to green. 3 NASCAR guys in the top 4. Squid and Evo up there. And this is the biggest pack we've had in quite some time. Really since the lap 3 incident. So we could be set up for chaos yet again. And will it happen at the front of the field? Will it happen at all? Or have they learned from their mistakes? Wherever you're at right now, don't get too comfortable with it. Evo's trying to push Squid to the lead. A traitor. He's already won the championship, Evo. Look after yourself. Oh, Chastain! I think he saved it. I don't hear any crumpling in behind. It's the straightaways that give these cars, these AI drivers, the biggest trouble. As we are here on lap 40. Made it down the backstretch that time with no incident. To be honest, I'm surprised Austin 68 is holding on to the back of the pack. He is last in this current line as we got another checkup. Now, if I remember correctly, the first time we came here to Charlotte, that happened too. So shake up the top of the order again. But that's still a massive pack back there, so they're not going to be separated for long as there's no trouble, and it was good to see everybody get out of that. Now, could that have been Evo again? I actually remember it perfectly now back in the exhibition. Evo brake checked the field on the back straightaway, and somebody didn't react. Christopher Bell coming around to lead. Lap 41. Champion in Squid sitting in 3rd place at the moment. 3-car of Pat never came back out. After the incident, even before the incident, like I've been saying all race, it was a long shot, but saw Travis Pastrana move to the middle line. Now he's back up top. Every time they get to the backstretch, I'm just like, oh God, here we go again. Good power from that line on the bottom has pushed Squid to the lead. Can he lead lap 42? Yes, he can over Chase Elliott. I feel like a turn would be the worst possible place for an incident to happen. We could be set up for some trouble again. I was a little bit worried. Pastrana and Allmendinger were just charging in the middle line, and that's kind of how we got into the problem before of middle line got a run, and then Pat tried to come down as Pastrana brake checks the field again. What is this, NASCAR 21 ignition? Evo back inside the top 10, sitting 8th. I am surprised that we've made it this long under green, this packed up, without anybody dying. Chase Elliott will lead lap 44. Christopher Bell fighting back on the high side. Oh, it scared the shit out of me. I actually jumped. Yeah. Just want to wreck somebody. Where is Ash at, come to think of it here? Lucas is kind of chilling in the back. So is Ash. Ash in the back of the pack right now. Hanging out with her good pals, Austin and Jordo. And Haley Deegan in close proximity. I don't mean to sound like Darryl Waltrip, but there's just no way that this can continue 3 wide like this and nobody fucks this up. There's not a chance in hell. There's another check up. Big problems. Bubba Wallace up and over. Oh my God. Bubba Wallace is dead. So Denny Hamlin just committed a war crime on his 2311 driver. Big checkup from the 11, slams on it. I don't know if these cars can have random mechanical failures, but that's certainly what that looked like there for a second with the 11. Slammed on the brakes and then just went straight right into the 23. On board from Ash in the back of the pack. There's the checkup. Bubba up in the wall. A little bit of a bump to Kyle Larson, but no damage for Ash this time. And look at that. This took out, or at least put in the pit lane, about half the field. Back to green, and we will be taking lap 50. Chase Elliott leads from our champion. Squid sitting there in second place. Hell, even if Pat would have been able to come out after that lap 3 wreck, and then Squid had the problem that happened to Pat, actually, where he didn't come back out on the track, it'd be a completely different scenario. But no, we had to decide it on lap 3. Chase Elliott slides up to the top, leaves the bottom open for Christopher Bell. These two have dominated the race for the last little while. Nice dive there by Josh Berry. And Josh Berry will make a move to the lead, pushed by Evo. And I'll tell you, after the season that Evo's had, I know Ash has beef with Evo's car, but it would be kind of fun to see. And especially like the Gran Turismo endurance stuff, this series, his car hasn't done anything well in any of them. But we do have to remember the exhibition. Evo was in a very similar place and decided to brake check the field and wreck himself and countless others. Well, Chase Elliott thought about coming down on the 9 car of Evo in there. Evo up to second. 24 laps to go in our season finale. And if you haven't redeemed your AI Daytona 500 car yet, you better do it now, as we are running out of time and we don't have that many people signed up. So please do it at your nearest, soonest convenience, as entries are only 1 channel point. So even if you see this over on the YouTube side of things, literally, if you just follow me, I want to say you earn plenty of channel points to get involved in that. So I don't know if there's anybody that watches these that doesn't watch them here on Twitch, but in case there is. Still got a pretty sizable pack here, despite losing, like I said, about half the field to the pit lane after our last caution, and I just don't really understand why. And now, it is encouraging to see. Ash did have to tow for whatever reason, but she's already back out here running in this pack, so. And look at this. Come around and complete lap 53. I think Evo led, but I messed up the camera a little bit. This is a sight we just haven't seen very often. Yeah, speaking of the cow car, where is it? It's not in the pits. There's Allmendinger. Oh, God, Jeff is pulling an Austin and riding around like that. All the way back here for some reason. I'm not really sure why or what happened, but all by its lonesome. The saddest moo you've ever heard. So now back up to the front of the field where Evo leads here on lap 55. I saw Dale Jr. up there, the green Sundrop car, and I was like, wait a minute, fucking how did he get back up here? He didn't, he's 25th. In fact, a solid amount of these cars that are up here right now are indeed at least 1 lap down. Like, Caleb is in pretty good position there. Actually, Caleb might be... Is Caleb on the lead lap? No. That means we do not have many cars on the lead lap. Josh Berry trying to take the lead yet again, and you know, I was gonna say something, but I don't wanna jinx it. Moo bitch, get out the way. Wow. Whoa, trouble! They saved it. That was Elliott and Natalie Decker, who just about wrecked half of what we have left. Now, another important note. There better be a Moo car in the 500. I don't know. I don't remember what her car was. It's not a cow. There might be a cow out there available! Oh my God! What did I just see? What in the fuck happened here? The red car in the middle of the pack. Was it Hailie Deegan? Check up. Oh my God. Chase Elliott checked up, got rear-ended, and Ash has departed us. This has got to be one of the hardest hits we've seen in the Mazda MX-5 Cup, and it comes out of nowhere. Oh. I would be amazed if the 46 makes it back out. Oh my God. From an alternate angle, focused on the 46, we'll see Chase Elliott check up and bang. Smee involved as well. Looks like a relatively isolated incident. Green flag is back in the air. I almost did it again. We were grouped up. We're on lap 61 of 75. Evo and Josh Berry up at the front of the field. And hey, Ash is back. Not on track, but back in the pit lane. How did that car survive that? And yet Pat just decided to peace out. Jeff's still driving around with his hood up in the back of the field. See if that causes some problems later on, or if we get another checkup that decides to kill people. Red Wings will lead lap 61. Oh. I wouldn't want to fix that one. Oh, we got Ross Chastain running all by his lonesome. Ross down in 21st place as Natalie Decker is on the lead lap and leading the race. Evo, get out of the way. Don't pick yourself off. Natalie Decker got picked off. Thanks, Ross. Ross is there, well done, but taking a bullet for the good of mankind. Evo will lead lap 63 as we're winding down. Squid now back to 8th place, but the championship locked up. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Literally. Except actual. Yeah, shit. You got the point. Well, we had a situation kind of like this in Watkins Glen where Jordo's Cow car was leading up until the very end of the race and kind of got down on it, and that car, for the most part, hasn't had a very successful season. And Evo is kind of the same thing right now. Up here, late stages, can he bring it home? There is a cow back in the pack. I would assume multiple laps down. Evo holds the lead, and actually seeing Ross Chastain behind him might be a good thing. Now, it doesn't appear that he's getting the best push from Chastain, which might cost him in the end, because we just saw the run that Josh Berry got to pass Evo before the line. We need a better push from Chastain. Logano on his out lap is about to get in this mess. And what's the pit situation for everybody here? Berry leads the lap again. Logano all the way down in 29th. And Pat is still the only car out of this race. I thought we didn't have another driver, but apparently that's not the case. Season winding down, and we'll have a new one starting before you know it with the NASCARs. It's not going to be a full-on season. We know we're pretty much only going to do the super speedways as there's more trouble. Haley Deegan started it again. We don't have a yellow flag. Now we do. I didn't even do it. So this is yet another incident in turn 4, or at least beginning in turn 4. Actually, it's more so on the front straightaway. Deegan made contact with, oh my goodness, Steve Kuzmic was flipping through the infield, as was Lucas. Two cars that have already flipped in this race. I don't know why the yellow didn't come out immediately. But again, I think this might be the same thing that we just saw in the backstretch between Chastain and Squid. Deegan comes down and they didn't get hooked together. But Deegan bounced off of Decker into D. Kuzmic, which sends him for a ride. That's still happening. This poor 33 car's been through it today. Probably running out of front bumpers in the pits, but I think he lost more than that this time. And again, caught up in a mess that wasn't his own fault. It was running into Will Power, actually, that sends this 33 flipping all over the place, and that was an awful noise. Also take a onboard ride with Lucas, who flips for the second time in this one. And this was a much slower burn than the other flip. You're fine, you're not fine. And just got hit in the side and flipped up and over. Austin made it through that. Well, we've got 5 laps to go in the race and the season. And a car that has finished no better than 9th all season long leads with just those 5 laps to go. Can Evo bring it home? We have 7 cars on the lead lap. And bad news for Austin, he's actually the first car a lap down, which is a big surprise to me. He's just been riding along really for the majority of this race. At least he did get the hood back down. Jeff has not been so lucky. Evo will get some help from Christopher Bell on the bottom. Josh Berry doesn't have any help, but we've seen it before that he doesn't necessarily need it. We might have a crazy finish at the line if this keeps up. Evo leads lap 71. It'll come down to Josh Berry, Evo, Natalie Decker, Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch, Red Wings, and Squid. And Squid has not been that much of a factor as this race is going on. He's still on the lead lap, still in contention. And again, what's the pit cycle information as Dale Jr. and Christopher Bell make contact? We have a caution, and I don't know if we're going to get it back green. We're taking lap 73 right now, and Evo may have just won it. Well, our champion got involved in this one. See if we can see what happened from up top. Dale Jr. checked up, and instead of doing the usual thing and going straight down, straight up the track, actually, he went up. He went down. Directionally confused. We'll just head into chase cam to let you know what happened, since I couldn't put the words out there. Junior kind of squeezed Christopher Bell and then took out some vengeance on the 56 for some reason. That car already had some damage from early on in the day. I couldn't tell you. Well, we're sitting around here on lap 74, and they are not gridded up, so that does mean that Evo is going to pick up the win here in the finale. Squid is your champion. He will finish 6th. But that is going to do it for the season. A race that ends under caution for real this time, though. We've had races end under cautions this season with the CPU issues that we just couldn't get the race to go back green. That's not the case here. A lot more chaos than I would have thought for the finale here at Charlotte. I kind of made the decision to come back here knowing what we saw back in June, where there really wasn't any incidents. I mean, we had the one. That was really it. And it has been the complete opposite today. 99 will pick up win number 1, which actually might make Austin DFL? I think it might, actually. So, both drivers are going to get what they want today, at least in terms of those two. Fake news, stolen election. Well, under yellow, but I don't think Evo's going to care that much. The luck that his cars have had in any sort of racing content that we've done this season, about damn time. Like I said, a car that has finished no better than 9th will come out of turn 4 under yellow and win the season finale here at Charlotte. Officially, as we take the checkered flag. So we head back to the lap 3 incident to kind of see what went wrong here in the back of the pack. This incident happened all the way up at the front of the field. And they just got ARCA braked, and Ash was upside down, actually. Got ass packed. We're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Wrecking in front, but everything's fine. No. Dale Jr. with the ass packed from hell. Watching from Chase Cam, too. I think this happened to a couple different cars in all this. And I mean, Dale Jr. is right on the back bumper. Ash has a good gap to the 88 car in front, but then on the brakes, Ash didn't really brake in time to not make contact with the 88, but then the 8 of Dale Jr. just goes up and over. So we're on board with the 33 car when it flips for the billionth time today. I need to see it. It's the same thing that happened to Ash. Didn't really brake in time, got into Smee right in front of him, but then got ass packed to hell after that, and had a great look at Pat's car doing its pirouetting bullshit up over there. So back to lap 13. We already know Haley Deegan, Caleb, and Jordo in the Cal car got involved in this one. I don't really know how the 69 on the high side really got involved. I mean, there was some side contact there with Caleb, and they all kept rolling and were able to get it back to the pit lane, but a lot of hard door-to-door contact, especially on that last hit there in the corner. So, was this a checkup incident, or was this just two cars getting hooked together? That was Caleb coming down. So the 35 and Caleb, this whole time we thought it was Deegan. That was actually Caleb's fault from the whole get-go. So here we go. All that chaos happening down below, and then bang. Yeah, it's a pretty hard hit to the side of the car. It was just surprising because the 69 didn't slow down the whole rest of the lap, really. Was able to keep up with the leaders and actually make a good run here, and then came to the pit lane the next time by, whereas Deegan and Caleb fell back off this pack a good ways. Well, in terms of the Mazdas, That does it. Can somebody please remove Dale Jr. from my ass? Yeah, Ash did take the hardest hit of this one. My God, what a nasty crash that was. But 10 races of Mazdas, chaos from start to finish in every way possible. It appears after a 75-lap race with no technical issues at all that we are good to go for doing things like this in the future. I don't know if we're going to do the Mazdas necessarily again, but we will be doing some NASCAR Cup Series races, probably mainly the super speedways, the Crown Jewel type races. That's kind of the plan right now. We do have to assemble a field, of course, which we have a good chunk, not really a good chunk of. We have some. But once again, if anyone would like to join that, please do, so we can get as full of a field as possible. Capping it at 32 cars, just because if you get it above 32, iRacing does get a little bit interesting no matter what chip you have in your computer. But yeah, that's it. That does it. Squid's your champion. Evo's a race winner. Who would have thought those words were going to come out of my mouth?